Hello. So today is lesson 2 for term 2 and our topic is speed, distance and time. Our goal for today's lesson is to calculate speed, distance or time based on the relationship between these three measures and also using the correct units. Make sure you rate your effort and knowledge for this lesson. So for speed, what are the units of speed that we generally use? So you normally are used to seeing kilometers per hour, especially when it comes to driving. But for the purposes of this topic, you need to be familiar with kilometers per hour, miles per hour, and meters per second. So you wouldn't generally say kilometers per second or meters per hour. You generally use kilometers per hour and meters per second. And less often, you come across miles per hour as well. So when it comes to calculating speed, the formula that we use is distance traveled divided by the time it has taken. So the distance divided by the time, kilometers per hour. So if I've been given the distance and I've been given the time, maybe pause the video at this point and see if you can quickly work out the speed, and then I'll take you through working out. So if I've been given the distance and I've been given the time, then the speed equals distance over time. And so therefore my answer is going to be 60 kilometers per hour. Now the key is to remember that if my units are not kilometers an hour, so let's say I was given that I drive 120 kilometers, so the same kilometers, but let's say here it said 180 minutes. So to calculate the speed, I cannot do 120 divided by 180 because this is in minutes. So I need to first convert this to hours. So I get 3 hours and then I work out the speed. So just keep that in mind. If you have the units, you have to make sure it's in kilometers per hour or meters per second. When it comes to calculating time, so we know that speed is equal to distance divided by time. Now, if I have been given the distance and I have been given the speed, this is miles per hour. How long does it take me to run the 30 miles is the question. The formula is time is equal to distance divided by speed. Again, just making sure that my units are correct. So I've got miles and here miles per hour. So therefore I do 30 divided by 6 and that gives me 5 hours. All right. Now I've been given speed and time and I need to work out the distance. So the formula is speed times time. And so I've been given my speed, I've been given the time. Because it's meters per second and my time is in seconds, I can go on and do the calculations. Remember, if it was hours, then I would need to convert. So distance is equal to 7 times 6. So that is 42. And because it's distance, my units were meters. So that's my final answer. All right. To make it easier to remember the formulas, the 3 different formulas, this might help. So you have D on top and then S and T. So when you're trying to work out distance, it's just simply speed times the time. If the unknown is the time, if this is your unknown, then you do distance over speed. And if this is your unknown, if your speed is your unknown, then you have distance over time. That's a bit messy, but I hope you can see how that works. So basically, time is distance over speed, speed is distance over time, and then distance is speed multiplied by time. So that might help you visualize it and remember what you have to do when you have to use these formulas. So that's a worded problem. A car traveling at 50 miles per hour takes 4 hours to complete a journey. How far does it travel? So how far does it travel means we are calculating the distance, and we know distance is speed multiplied by time. So we've been given the speed Our speed is 50 multiplied by the time is 4, and that gives us 200, and that'll be miles. All right. And that's another word problem. So you have access to the PowerPoints as well. If you can't see clearly what's written here, you can access the PowerPoints separately, and make sure you try that question as well. And then try these questions here. So there's lots of practice questions. I will be putting these practice questions on Delsh Learning for you to attempt. So do the working out in your books, but then you will come across these questions on the online platform for you to enter your answers in and see if you've done them correctly. And just a quick goal review. Thanks.